Hey guys, how you doing? I want to welcome each of you to the show this afternoon, guys. I'm excited to be able to bring this information to you as individuals continue to come on, guys. We are, yes, going live at several different spots right now. So that if you will, since we're going live into Facebook and with YouTube and several different pages, if you can go ahead and stuff, if you want to actually chat in on just your city and where you're watching us from, because I know I help individuals all across the country. Just want to know where you're tuning in from, guys. There. So, but while you're doing that, go ahead and grab a pen and pad. I always talk about anytime you come to my education classes, whether online or live or whatever, I want you to grab a pen and pad. Okay, so go ahead and grab that pen and pad there. I do appreciate it. Hey, Mr. Walls, how you doing? Texas, what's going on? What's going on? Welcome, welcome, welcome to the show. Go ahead and grab your pen and pad, guys. Individual going to know how to shift from YouTube to over there. Let's stop right there until we get on. But thank you for actually joining us. Thank you. Thank you. You do have a little time, guys, to text some individuals because we're going to talk about an important subject today. We're going to talk about an important subject today. We're going to talk about that child tax credit. Many of you may have, I'm seeing the press conference that, President Biden did today, and you may still be a little confused about it. Okay, want to know what should you do, or if it's not for you, you may know somebody else, okay, that need the information also as well. So hopefully I'm going to be able to give you some information. Okay, guys, as I do all these all the time, I always like it to be Q&A, so live Q&A as well. So you are able in your chat field or whatever you are, whatever you're actually watching, you are able to key in questions. Okay, you are able to key in your question, ask your questions. I might say that during the presentation all around and stuff as well, but you're able to ask your questions and I would try to cover those questions for you. Okay, the goal is to give you the information that you need so that you understand what's going on. Okay, so you understand what's going on. And please, guys, as I've already got it shared to my spots that's out there, please, sir, please, ma'am, go ahead and actually share, if you will, to your social media posts and stuff like that, so that they can see this information live as well, so that they can ask questions as well. Yes, they may be able to see it on the replay, but they may be able to do that also as well. Okay, all right, got questions coming in again. Yes, Ms. Will, I will be covering that also as well. We will be actually covering some of the things, guys, that we are going to be covering, guys. Of course, I'm gonna give you first, an overview. Okay, I'm gonna give you a kind of like an overview of what's going on so you understand that. Then I'm gonna kind of go over who is kind of eligible, who is eligible for the child tax credit. And then I'm going to be talking about how you're getting paid, getting your money, as Kurt said, or if you don't want your money right now, we're going to actually talk about that and stuff. And then I'm going to talk to you about, hey, the danger of, if you didn't file your taxes last year, what you need to do. And then some of the benefits and stuff that I see of the program as well. Okay, so I'm going to be covering those things. Hope you got some of this thing already shared to your favorite spots. Okay, share it on your page for me. Others can actually hear, but more importantly, hope that you have a pen and pad. Hope that you have a pen and pad as individuals are continuing to join, and welcome, 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 welcome. We are just about to get into it now, so you're not too late. Okay, so you're not too late, guys, to actually get the information that you're going to need about the child tax credit. Let's go ahead, guys, and get started. Okay, let's go ahead and get started. Let's talk about the overview first. All right. On the overview, what I really want to discuss actually first, guys, is what in the world is the child tax credit anyway first. Okay, so we're going to go from basic to advanced real quick with the time that we have today. Okay, so what is the child tax credit? People ask, is a credit, is it something I got to pay back? Is it this and that? Guys, the child tax credit actually has been around. It's been around actually for a while, that if you have a child in between a certain age, you are able to get what is called a credit. That credit goes directly against your income. Your tax liability. I'm sorry. The credit goes directly against your tax liability so that you do not have to pay a certain amount on it. So it's a great thing. It's a great thing to get those credits, guys. If your child, guys, was under the age of 17, that means 0 through 16 is what it was. So 0 to 16, there was this credit. And this past year's, that credit, guys, was $2,000. If you're taking notes, write that down. That credit was $2,000 from your 2020 tax return, okay? It was $2,000 per child. Yes, there are some other credits and things of that nature, okay? Dependent credit, but we're talking about the child tax credit. So it was $2,000. So what happened, okay? What happened, guys, when all of the acts was actually going on and stuff? Y'all know that big bill that came before from COVID and things of that nature. Well, one of the things that was in that act, okay, because of the rise in cost in childcare, was an increase in that $2,000. It was an increase in that $2,000. And that increase in that $2,000, guys, went to basically for kids in between 0 to 6, that credit went to $3,600. $3,600. It was $2,000. It goes up to $3,600 in the year 2021, the year that we are in right now. Okay, from $2,000 to $3,600 in 2021 for individuals that have kids, and their kids are 0 to 6 years old. Well, how about the kids from 7 years old up to, at that time, 16 years old, right? Where their increase was $1,000, it went to $3,000. So theirs went from $2,000 to $3,000. So if you had a child between the ages of 0 and 6, you got more child tax credit coming to you from 2021, okay? In the sum of basically $600 additional dollars for doing that. Now, there's something that was added. If your child is 17, you now get the credit as well. You didn't get that credit before. Okay, you didn't get that credit before. Before, we used to actually tell people and their parents when their child turned 17, they didn't get the child tax credit anymore. You know, they was able to get the dependent credit, which is $500, but they didn't get that big $2,000. Now, guys, this year, 2021, okay, the credit goes to even with kids that are 17 years of age. So to sum up what the child tax credit is, guys, it's a true credit for you, okay? For if you have a dependent child, in between the age of 0 to 6, it's $3,600 in 2021. And if you have a child in between the age then of 7 to 17 now, it's $3,000. Okay, so that is the credit for 2021. Now, why is all of this happening? Because you're like, hey, Terrence, it's 2021 right now, but I don't do my 2021 tax return until next year, right? I don't do that 2021 tax return until next year. Correct. But that's why the whole thing is going on right now, because now you're getting an advance on that credit pretty much, guys. Okay. Why? It's something to help you out now. They wanted to do things to help people out now. So they're taking half of that credit that you normally was going to get in 2021, and they're giving it to you now. They're taking a half of the credit and they're giving it to you now. So if you had a child that was going to end up getting the $3,000 credit, okay, which was in between the age of 7 and 17, and if you said in 2021, I got a child in between, that's 8 years old, they fit my credit for 2021, it's going to be $3,000. Where they're basically actually saying, we're not going to let you or have you to wait until you do your tax return in 2022 for 2021. They're basically going to say, we're going to let you get half of that credit now from this month to the end of the year. So that's $1,500. So it's $1,500 that they're going to actually say per child that you have in between those ages that you're going to be able to get this year. What they did was they are dividing up the months. It starts out today, July the 15th. That's when it starts out. And every month, there's a payment to the end of the year. So there's 6 payments. So if you look at $1,500 divided by those 6 payments, you'll get $250 per child. $250 per child that you are going to be able to basically get every single month from now to the end of the year. So you have 2 kids, that's $500 a month now that you're going to be able to get. Okay? Advance up front now without waiting. If you have a child between the ages of 0 and 6 years old, your credit is going to be $300 per month starting July the 15th. That's how the credit works right now. And again, if you have any questions, start hitting it in the chat because I'm going to cover all of those questions. Okay. I know I may be going a little fast with some, but that's so far what's going on. So let's continue out to talk about then, guys. So if we understand the credit and what it is from the $3,000 to the $3,600 in 2021, we understand now that they're giving half of that credit now this year during the year, not waiting, basically to help individuals with their situations now. So they're giving it to you now. And when they're giving it to you now, guys, they're dividing it up between the months from now to the end of the year, which is 6 more months. So you're going to either get $250 a month or $300 a month per child, depending on their age. Depending on their age. Now we got that. Now, who's eligible to get this? Who is eligible to get this credit? Well, the first thing, guys, that you need to know, it's called a child tax credit for a reason, okay? It's called a child tax credit for a reason. So the first thing is you need to have a dependent, okay? You need to have a dependent that you're caring for in your tax returns that's a child in between that age of 0 to 17 years old. If you have a dependent in between 0 to 17 years old, that's the first thing that you need. Okay, because it's designed for that purpose. Okay, it's designed for that purpose. Now, there are some income limits. There are some income limits to this. Now, the whole goal is to get as many people their whole credit that they can get, either $250 a month or $300 a month. You're going to hear me saying these same numbers over and over again until you get it. Okay, you're going to hear me saying this over and over again until you actually get it. So, now, so if you look at this credit, from now to the end of the year, and if you qualify because you have a child in between that age, from now to the end of the year, income does come in play. Income does come in play. There are some thresholds, just like a lot of stuff. I'm gonna keep it simple for you, okay? If you have, guys, your AGI, your adjusted gross income, okay, on your tax return, if you can look at that, if you can see if you're a married filing joint, you're a couple, married filing joint couple, you can have your AGI up to $150,000. So anything you make up to $150,000, you're going to get 100% of the credit. You're going to get 100% of the credit. Anything between, again, 0 to $150,000 for the year on that tax return, you're going to get 100% of the credit for married filing joint individuals. Now, after married filing joint individuals, if you had 150, what happens then? It starts to decrease then per every 1,000. It starts to get smaller. So it goes away. The more you make, okay, more than 150,000, it starts to go away, decrease from $300, $250, and down until it's gone. But if you are a person that you're saying, well, me and my spouse together, we don't have adjusted gross income, okay, of 150,000 or more, you qualify and eligible then for 100% of what I'm talking about. Well, what if you're not married filing joint, okay? What if you're the next one, head of household? So let's say you're head of household. And I say head of household now because normally individuals is head of household, just one person, and you're claiming you're dependent. You may claim head of household, right? You may claim the head of household because you got a dependent. Where your income, guys, is $112,500, $112,500, okay, or less. So anything between 0 to $112,500, you're going to get 100%, or you are eligible, I would say, for 100% of what I'm talking about. Okay, if you start making more than that, 115,000, 120,000 on your AGI, it starts to decrease. So if you are, let's say, single father, okay, you're a single father and you make $80,000 a year and you have 2 kids, both age 8, okay, you say, Terrence, how much would I have to get? Yes, you qualify, you're eligible, you have kids, they're in between the same age. Your income is underneath of the threshold. You file head of household, right? Like there. And you then are eligible for $250 per child. You have 2, so that's $500 a month from now, starting today, to the end of the year, every single month. Okay? you're eligible for that. All right. So we got that for a second. Any questions? Continue to do your questions on there and stuff, and I'll be asking your questions. What's the next thing, actually, Terrence? Okay. Well, let's say, okay, the other thing is, guys, you need to make sure that you have already filled your tax returns out. Because when you say you're eligible, they need to know, number one, do you have dependents? Okay. And your income. Well, how do they find out normally if you're claiming dependents? Your tax return. Okay. So here's the thing. You need to have done either 2019 taxes or 2020, the ones that we're doing right now this year or last year. Okay. Or you have filled out the non-filing tool, or use the non-filer sign-up tool for the IRS on irs.gov. So if you have done 2019 taxes, you're in the game. You've done 2020 taxes, you're in the game. If you hadn't done any of those, because some people, you don't have to file, right? You don't have to file. So if you don't have to file, okay, then you actually look at, hey, how can I get that money? Just like your stimulus, you went online and you filled out that tool. Okay, and you fill out that too, guys, then you're able to actually qualify. Sounds good? All right, good. Let's continue to actually go on, guys. All right. So when do you start receiving it? When do you start receiving it? We understand all of that. When do you start receiving it? You start receiving that today. I have some clients that already actually called and they say, yes, they got their money. They got that money. Now, if you got your money, guys, you're going to be able to actually get it a couple of ways. Number one, either direct deposit, okay, or check. Direct deposit or check. So that was important, guys. If you basically have had your direct deposit information in when you did your tax returns, okay, direct deposit is probably how it's going to, actually go in, okay? If you basically didn't do that, okay, because you might have owed or whatever, you didn't put your direct deposit information in there, more likely you're going to get yours by check. They started direct deposit things today. They started direct deposit today. Yes, some of my clients did get theirs. If you did get yours, guys, you look at your bank statement, it's going to actually name it a child CTC is what's going to be on your bank statement as far as the department. Child CTC. It's going to be what's on there as your direct deposit. So you know that that's your child tax credit. If you get to these deposits, guys, I want you to keep records of them. Okay, I want you to keep records. I said that today. I was interviewed actually one of the news station about this actual credit. And that's what I actually let them know today. Keep your records of you getting it. Okay. You never know actually next year if you need to tell your tax professional, here's how much I got. I didn't get this. Things do happen. So make sure that you basically put the date, have a little chart thing, put the date, okay, and the amount that you have. Because maybe you say, oh, I didn't get all of mine, I didn't get enough, and things of that nature. Make sure you do that. Because I'm going to tell you actually why, okay? Okay? Because here's why. If you're getting the things early now, if you're supposed to gotten $3,600 for your newborn, okay, and $1,800 is paid from now to the end of the year, was $300, but you didn't get all of that. Something happens. Maybe it was the income. Maybe it's not the income. But you may want to look at that. Why? Because think about it. They are going to use 2019 and 2020 tax returns, meaning they're going to be using the AGI of those years. Suppose in 2020, the year that is for, your income is different. Suppose your income is different. Thank you, Ben. Appreciate you, sir. Suppose the income is different. And if the income is different, guys, it can be more, it can be less. Your numbers may change. Things may be doing, this, and then you get to, your tax return to stuff and try to do it. And then all of a sudden, things are different. You don't know what to do. I got it. I didn't get it. You want some kind of proof. You want some kind of proof of what you have. So keep records of that. People that know me, follow me on my teachings, guys, they know I always talk about records. All the time you want to talk about records. Okay? Now, suppose you're saying, all that's good and that, but I don't know how to do all of that stuff in next year and this year. I don't want to actually worry about it or for other reasons. And I've been hearing that some people are saying that they're going to opt out. They don't want it now. Why is that? You are able to opt out. This is one of the questions that we actually have right here by Mr. Wheeler. So, Mr. Wheeler, I am going to answer your questions, now, okay, about how do you opt out of early tax payments. You don't want the money right now. Now, some of you may be saying, why in the world would I not want the money? Y'all can check that out. We have fun here, okay, when it's called, right? Why do I not want the money right now? And da-da-da-da. Well, I'm going to actually tell you a little bit about why you may want to opt out, okay? Let me tell you why you may want to opt out. First reason is so you don't get in trouble with the Internal Revenue Service and owe the money back. Yes, owe the money back. What do you mean, Terrence? Here's what I mean about this, because we don't know how they're going to actually do things when you file your tax returns. They pay you too much. What do you mean pay me too much? Again, and I want to stress, they are going to use 2019 and 2020 tax return records. They're going to use those records. Let's say you have a child, 2020, this past year, you claim that child is of age, you qualify, they start sending you the payments, you're getting those payments all the rest of the year. You happy that you got those payments, you're great, you got the $1,500 now, you're good. You go do your tax return. You do your tax return next year, and in doing your tax return, you figure out, you remember, oh man, I'm not with my spouse or with the baby's father or mother, but it's my time to allow them to file the dependent on their tax return. So in other words, what I'm saying is, all of a sudden, you don't have a dependent for your 2021 tax return. In 2020, you had a dependent, but now 2021, it may not be your year to claim the dependent. Okay, it might not be your year to claim the dependent. A lot of people do odd years, even years, when they're switching out who claims a dependent on their tax return. Or your dependent now, yes, there was 17, they actually got it, but they're 18 to school, or they're on their own, they're doing their own thing. You're just not claiming the dependent now, but you declaimed them in 2020, or you claimed them in 2019. Didn't do your 2020 tax return yet. You did an extension. You got time to file. So they use your 2019 taxes, and you had a dependent there that qualified, made you eligible. But when you're doing your 2021 tax return, all of a sudden, what's the first thing to do? They see who's eligible. But if you're not claiming that person on your tax return anymore, you don't get a child tax credit. So if you don't get a child tax credit, how are you going to get that $3,000 to $3,600 if you don't have a dependent? You don't have it, but you got the money early, but you didn't have it. Uh-oh. I don't know, but what probably may happen is they may ask, there may be a question on the 2021 tax return of, did you receive the child tax credit and how much did you receive? Hope you keep records, because if you got their records, you put, I received, $1,500, and if you receive $1,500, and then they say, well, you ain't got no child tax credit right now, that will hurt you at that time. So for some people that may be going in that situation, you may want to opt out. You may want to opt out. Now, I have heard actually some people already actually saying, hey, I just don't want the money. I don't want to have the government use this system, this and that, whatever. If you don't get it now, you're going to get it later. It's still a government system. A credit is the credit. It's the tax code. You should feel no way about using the tax code. If you guys know me, we use all of the tax code to minimize our taxes. Okay. All right. So you would want to use this. This is a credit that's going to be on the tax code. You're just getting it early. That's all it is. Okay. So, but for some to say, hey, I don't want to do it, you can opt out if you choose. You can opt out if you choose. But that's some of the reasons that you do an opt out. If you want to opt out, okay, of doing that, it's the same thing. You go to the IRS, irs.gov, okay, and there's a tool there that you are able to opt out. Okay, you are able to opt out there, guys, if you do not want them to send you monthly monies right now. Hope I answered you that question for you, Mr. Wheeler. Okay, hope I actually did it actually for you. Okay, so that's if you want to actually opt out, guys. That's looking at your actual tax return and stuff. What are some of the actually benefits of this? What are some of the actual benefits of this, guys, and why are they doing it? Okay, you want them to boost the economy, you want to do this, do that. What are you doing? Number one, guys, it put money in your pocket. It can put money into your pocket, what, earlier, so that you can do certain things. Now, I was asked on the show, should I go on vacation with it? Should I do this? Should I do that? No. Okay. Just don't go spend your money, this and that, guys, and stuff like that. You know, it can be something to either catch up on a bill with, or something that, hey, if your kids, if they decide to go to school and you didn't know how you're going to get clothing, you didn't know how you're going to get lunch, you don't know how you're going to, like do certain things, or they're at home right now, you didn't know how you're going to, have somebody to sit with them or tutor them because they got behind, whatever it is. Use that extra money for your kids. Use it for the child tax credit. Okay. Use it, child tax credit for the child. Okay. Use it for that. That's just my opinion of doing it. Of course, it's your money, your credit. You can do what you want. Okay. Some people can, of course, invest. Some people can do other things. But guys, use the money. Okay. Use the money. Get the money early. Use the money. Of course, use it. It is actually a good thing. Okay. Let's read some of this. Another question on it. If I sign up for child tax credit, will it affect my other government benefits like SSIs? Now, okay, no, it's not going to affect your other benefits. Okay, this is a legitimate credit. It's okay to basically take this credit. Okay, it's okay to take this credit if you need it. You can take it now. Well, what if you do not have your direct deposit information or your checks there, or that what you do? Yes, the tool online, you can go online and enter that information in. But how about a person that said here that you hadn't did your 2019 taxes, or you hadn't did your 2020 taxes yet, right? You're not qualifying that. You hadn't did your 2019 taxes. You hadn't did your, your other extra credits yet. So what do you do if you hadn't did a tax return? How to know you're available and stuff, but you're about to do your tax return now? Okay, fine. Do your tax return now. Get those tax returns in. Get them in electronic files. I don't know the time, okay, of refunds and stuff like that. There's a whole different conversation we can have, because the IRS, as we all know, are behind, but you can send it in. I do not know when you send it in as far as when your money will come to you as far as this child tax credit. I have no idea. So don't call any tax professional office, okay? Okay, I'm gonna give you the site at the end that you can go to kind of watch some of the things other than the irs.gov, okay, site as well. But here's why I should bring this up as far as actually doing it. Let's say you do the tax return, or you just did both, tax returns today. Let's say you did 19 and 20 today, and it's sent in, and in the month, like, ooh, what? July 15th is already gone. July the 15th is already gone. So you say, ooh, did I miss a month of my payment? Did I miss my $250, my $300 on monthly payment? What I do? I miss it. Well, here's what, guys, you need to know. Guess what? They're going to supposed to actually have that you did not get that previous payment, and still divide that remaining up to the end of the year and send you the extra money on the check monthly. So they're supposed to divide it up. Now it's 4 months. How much more did it owe you? 4 months. Here's what you're going to get paid. Oh, you didn't do it now. Okay, 3 months. Here's what you're going to get paid. That's what we've been told as of right now. Okay. So let's say you didn't get it in July. If you didn't get it in July, let me get my calculator out. If you didn't get it in July, you're going to get it in August. That's 5 more months on that. And so let's say you had that child again, that's $1,500 from now to the end of the year divided by 5. Now is, for that one that is over the age of 6, 7 to 17. Now you're getting $300 a month for the rest, because you get 5 months instead of that 6 months, instead of $250. Okay, so they're going to divide it up. The goal basically is for you to get half of the child tax credit this year in 2021 year, within the year. Okay, even though you do your tax return next year, even though you do the tax return in 2022. How many of you guys actually think that that's a good thing? How many of you guys, like, whether you qualify or not, just think it's actually something actually cool? Think it's something cool that people that actually can actually get the money, are doing this. Do you think it's actually a good thing to actually do and stuff like that? I'm not going to politics or who's going to pay for it. No, but how many people think that is a good thing or what's happening? As I go through some of the questions and stuff, I actually look at them. How many people think that is something actually good? Please actually comment actually there for me. All right, as I read some of these questions. That's Keith Parsons. He gets a check for each. Okay, one of the questions that you guys do that is basically saying that their ex, let me put it up here. My ex-wife keeps her sister who is disabled, okay, and she gets a check for her each month, which she qualify as a dependent. Okay, here's again. It goes by Eligible goes by, are they dependent on the tax return? Okay. Are they dependent on the tax return? Goes by that first. Okay. And then it goes by the income that a person has. Okay. Tax return and that. So if your wife claims, or you and your wife, hope you're going to verify joint, claims the person on their tax return, they are a dependent. It activates when they're on the tax return. Okay. And then it looks at the income. It's as simple as that. Okay. Okay. It's as simple as that. Okay. Awesome. Awesome. So yes, she is single, makes about, okay, get some, may fall out, but it's the adjusted gross income. So she makes me okay there. Okay. Maybe okay there. Okay. You said your wife's sister. I'm sorry. Great. Thank you. Thank you. Yes, she is single. Okay. Awesome. So remember, she's single. So she's going to have a household. So if she goes had a household, her AGI, okay, adjusted gross income, you get up to 112,500 before it starts to go lower. So maybe she doesn't get $250. Maybe she gets $100 a month. And she's wondering, oh, I only got $100 a month. And they said $250 is what I'm supposed to get. It's probably because of the income. Okay. It starts to phase out. Okay. And you can go online to actually see those numbers also as well. Okay. And that. Okay. Question: should people adjust their W-4 with their jobs if they receive the advanced tax credit? No. Okay. No, because you're getting it in advance. Okay. It's not like it's going to be added on at the end of the year. Okay. And get it. If you're getting it now, okay, when you're doing the tax return, it's not going to figure out later. The W-4 form, guys, for those that actually do not know and stuff, what the question would actually ask, is the form that you fill out when you get your job, right? You let them know if you're single, you let them know if you have dependent that is under 17, dependent that is over 17, and how many that you have. You got an additional income, you got an adjustments and things of that nature. It basically, guys, instructs your employer on how much money to take out of your check for federal withholdings, okay, giving it to the Internal Revenue Service on your behalf. So at the end of the year, you can look at it. It's supposed to even out to say, here's how much my tax liability was. Remember, I always call tax liability your bill. Okay, how much your bill is, and here's how much that was withheld from my paychecks to cover that. Okay, here's how I help from my paycheck to cover that. So what's going to happen? Okay, is that it's almost kind of actually close in doing that. All right, it's almost kind of actually close in doing that. So I want to actually backtrack. You got to be careful about it. You're getting money some in advance. A little bit of that money in advance is what your W-4 was already actually done for. What do you mean by a little bit, Terrence? Remember I said that it was $2,000 before? So your W-4, if you did your W-4 correctly and already have that in with your employer, okay, and let's say you have that child that is 8 years old again, I'm just actually to stand there. You know that you're basically sitting at your place of employment have that designed for $2,000 credit that you're going to get. Okay, well, you're going to get a $3,000 credit, not a $2,000 credit. Okay, but you're going to get $1,500 of that early this year. So when you're doing your tax return next year, if you claim that same child that's 8 years old, okay, 9 years old, then still qualify, it's going to show $1,500 as your what credit, and not the normal $2,000 because you got some of it early. So that is a $500 difference. But the reason I said don't change a lot, because I'm okay with 500 owing or 500, getting back a refund in between that because you're not going to make that perfect. Okay. So I'm in between that and stuff like that. So if somebody all of a sudden at the end of the year be like, oh, my refund is $500 less in that example that I just gave, that's probably why. Just make sure you talk with your tax professional. Okay. They should know a little bit about this. Okay. So talk to your tax professional as they are preparing your taxes, or your just, or that may be another reason. Okay. That may be another reason why you may say, hey, I'm going to opt out right now, this and that. Those are you. But have a conversation with your tax professional. Okay. Before I actually go on, guys, I do want you to definitely like our Facebook page. Like if you're on a Facebook page, I'm not sure which page actually that you're on, but definitely go to our Hawkins Accounting and Tax Service page. Go to that Hawkins Accounting and Tax Service page, guys, and go ahead and like that page as we be putting information out all of the time there. You can also go to YouTube. I'm about to start cranking a lot of videos out, so I'm going to tell you now, go ahead and subscribe to our channel, our YouTube channel. I'm there as well. And you definitely want to go to our website. And I got the information here at the bottom, strolling now, to get our free newsletter. Okay, we have a free newsletter that you go to www.hawkinstax.net. And on that newsletter, guys, I do blogs, I do at the end, and I'm doing some other stuff also as well that's actually coming out. Okay, so make sure that you definitely actually sign up for some of those things. Okay. Okay. Yes, I got certain people that actually did say that they are thinking that there's a good thing. I do too. Okay. I do too. Credit will impact a lot of households in need. Yes, it will. It will. I just encourage that the individuals that's receiving these credit, let's be wise with it. Okay. Let's be wise with it. Let's actually use it actually for our kids and stuff and actually go from there. All right. All right, guys. I was over, guys. Any more questions as we are finished up? I think I kind of covered a lot of the child tax credit, what it is, the amounts. Got any more questions? I can actually go through those as well. I did go over the started today, actually. Some people actually did get that in. I went over the payments. I'm just going through my actual thing here. Get a payment on July 5th. Yes, I think I actually went over there. Will I lose out if I didn't sign up in time to get the payment? Now, number one, if you have those other things, you have the tax returns done, 19 or 20, okay? You don't have to do anything, okay? You don't have to do anything per se, all right? Things are supposed to just happen. Anybody on this live actually got theirs yet? Anybody on this live actually got theirs yet? Just actually let us know also as well. I know some of my clients already got it, but you do not have to do anything if you already did your 19, especially did it on time. You did the 19 on time. You did the 20 there, either or and stuff. You might want to do that. Now, there is a site. There is a site that you can go to that the White House that President Biden actually put out today. Okay. And that site is, and somebody can chat that in the chat field. Actually, no, I'll do that. That site is, guys, www.childtaxcredit.gov. childtaxcredit.gov. You go there, guys. A lot of the Q&A that I'm going through right now, guys, you'll be able to actually get Q&A and question and answer and stuff actually did. Okay. All right. Also, we got some people here that got the credit. Good stuff. Good credit. Got it. Awesome. 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 Yes, you did. Got a credit. Okay. We got it. As Kurt said that he got it, but he wants to opt out now. Yes, you can go to the opt out form if you want to opt out. Okay. If you want to opt out, you can opt out if you want to opt out. No problem in doing that. Okay. Especially again, you would want to opt out, especially if you got changes with your dependents. I want to stress that if you have changes with your dependents, it's coming up in 2021. If you know you're not claiming that dependent this year, you know you're not going to claim that dependent this year, guys, opt out. Okay, opt out. Don't say, hey, I'm gonna get this $15 actually early and this and that. Okay, don't play those games. Get your W-4 stuff actually done correctly. Opt out, do it there. Okay, just make sure. Just make sure it's going to it's childtaxcredit.gov. Childtaxcredit.gov is the official one for the White House put up, Mr. Pearson. Okay, it's childtaxcredit.gov, G-O-V for government. Okay, childtaxcredit.gov is that one. It's the one that I'm talking about. I don't think that about com. I know he said gov, and I looked at it, and it was up. Okay, I looked at it, it was up. So let's make sure we actually do that. Make sure you actually do that. Go online and stuff and actually do that. All right, guys. I don't have any more. I want to make sure there's any more questions. No more questions. No more questions. No more questions. Awesome. 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 I want to appreciate your time, guys, for actually coming in, guys, to learn a little bit about the child tax credit, what's going on. Definitely share it. Definitely actually share it out. Okay. There with individuals so they can at least understand, be prepared, have them to choose if they want to get the credit now or if they want to opt out as well. Okay. Definitely actually join the newsletters. Go ahead and sign up actually for go ahead and go to to my YouTube page and stuff and subscribe to the channel. Okay, like the Facebook, as we be pushing a lot of information out. Okay, we be putting a lot of information out. With that being said, guys, I want to thank each and every one of you for actually joining us on this afternoon. And as always, this is T-Hawk, and I'm out. Have a great day, guys. We'll talk to you soon. Goodbye.